to have your hands like constantly in motion. It is a very common thing.
I guess it's the motion and the sound. While annoying to some, I guess it's just
he probably finds it calming, like
or at least numbing, just to keep his mind off of things. And this is one of the most tense scenes in the film, where we see them driving. Monster is loading a AK-47 bullet by bullet.
Yeah, it's one at a time.
Clips it in.
And Trey is like sort of half rocking back and forth, like not sure what to do. He's still covered in blood. Yeah.
And he's like, let me out.
He's just like, Doughboy, pull over, let me out. And he's like, what? Not him, somebody else says, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah, I think it's Dookie.
Yeah, and he just says,
but
Doughboy,
I love
I'm out.
He knows. He's just like...
Yeah, he doesn't say shit. And he just sort of pulls over, lets him out.
And drives
right off.
Yeah.
Because
he's just like, you're not, this isn't you.
He does say later on, he's like, it's a good thing you got out, because this shit haunts you, and you don't want that. Like, he knew. So they keep driving, and Trey just walks, I'm guessing just walks around, doesn't think about it.
Eventually gets home.
Eventually, yeah. And Doughboy is like, they're driving around, and then at some point in time, I think it's Chris, just goes, man, we've been driving around for 3 hours, we need to go get something to eat. And
is Chris in the car, or is it just Dookie and Monster?
Oh, it might have just been Dookie and Monster. Yeah, you're right. One of them says, like, we need to get something to eat.
Yeah, because it's been hours. We're never going to find them.
We're not going to find them. Like, we'll get them, just not now kind of thing. And then they happen to show up in a burger joint, and there's Ferris and his crew.
There they go right there.
I love this scene just because I'm like, they just fucking murdered someone, and they're having the most mundane conversation eating burger and fries.
Like about women, I think.
Yeah,
girls
because I think Ferris is going to meet his girlfriend or something like that, and they're just having this mundane fucking conversation.
Because to them, it was nothing.
It was nothing. It was just fucking. It was
literally another day,
and that's fucked up. That is so fucked up, and it's just like, and it works because then they were like, holy shit, there they are, and he's just like, kill the lights, and they do, and then they fucking drive up, and like, well, Ferris catches them, like he's like, oh fuck, it's them, and then they pull up, and then they shoot the shit out of them.
What I like is them tripping up. Because they're in one of those park benches where you can't just get up quickly and run.
Yeah, you gotta crawl, sort of pull your way out, and then they just basically trip themselves.
So because they trip themselves, it gives them enough time to pull up and just spray.
Yeah. They spray the bullets, and then none of them are dead. They're just, like, crawling around, basically. So then...
Because they get them in the legs, all of them. There's none of them go through the head or the chest. It's all in the legs, which is why they all fall.
Yeah, and... They stop and just like, come on, man, we gotta go. And Doughboy gets out of the fucking car. He's like, no, this ain't fucking, no, we're done. We're not finishing here. So he pulls out his gun and just like, bang, bang, kills two of them. And then, not Ferris, one of the other guys.
No, it's Ferris.
Was it? Because you
the last one was Ferris.
Because you said it wasn't him.
Yeah.
No, either way.
No, because that's what they're saying. Because it's Ferris going, I didn't pull the fucking trigger.
Yeah, I didn't pull it. Yeah. Well, he didn't, actually. That's right.
He's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, it doesn't. He's basically just like, I didn't do it. I didn't pull the trigger. He's like, it doesn't matter. And then he fucking shoots him twice.
Because it's a very affecting scene. Because he's just like, turn over.
Yeah.
So I want to look you in the eye.
Yeah, I want to look at you and I'm going to fucking kill you kind of shit. And it's fucking powerful as shit.
Well, the monster's just, we need to get the fuck out of here.
He's freaking out, but like, Doughboy's like, I need to see one of them. I need to see whoever fucking killed him. Like, it's your fault. My brother's dead. I got to fucking kill you. So he does, and then he sort of stands there, and he's crying. And he's standing there. And then he fucking snaps out, and then goes back into the car, and they drive off.
And I think this is intercut with Mrs. Baker opening up the SAT, saying, and then it shows that Ricky got a 710.
Ricky got a 710, so he did, in fact...
And I love that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
It's like, he almost made it out. He was out.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Yeah.
Trey goes home, him and Furious embrace, because Furious knows you didn't do anything.
Yeah, he's just like,
You did finally come to your senses.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
And Trey and Doughboy have this, like, amazing conversation.
Yeah, like, basically...
Where Doughboy is contemplating, going, like, it's the next morning, I believe. And
it's the next morning.
And he's just like, I can't remember the last time I was up this early.
He clearly just been up drinking all night. And, because he walks over with a 40 at, like, 6 in the morning. And he sits there, and he just has this conversation of just, like, you know, I know why you got out. I'm glad you did, because, you know, you don't want this and all that stuff. And he's like, did you get him? And he just sort of doesn't really answer him.
Yeah, he just like, his reaction is like, he doesn't say it, but you know, he's like,
yep.
And then even Doughboy's like, I can't keep living like this, man.
He's like, I can't...
Because it affects him. It doesn't... Which proves, I guess, ultimately why they were the antagonists. They would just kill and not care.
Yeah.
And Doughboy, who's supposed to be this super hard fucking gangster this whole movie, kills these 3 guys in cold blood and is ultimately broken by it.
He's done.
Just
he's
like, I need to be out of this.
Yeah, I need to stop. I mean, he was trying the whole movie. He was just like, I can't go back to jail. I can't... Like, he wants to be different.
And I think even more heartbreaking than Ricky, the most heartbreaking scene of him walking back home.
Well, we're not done yet. Hang on. He talks about, like, you know, like, I was watching the news.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, like, they were talking about this over here and this over here. It's like nothing about my brother. Yeah. It's like
or what I did even.
Yeah, or anything. And that's where we got the line that I had in the beginning, which is why I had to put it in there. He's just like, they either don't know, don't want to know, or don't care what's going on here. And that's when he sort of gets up, dumps out the 40, which is a very fucking poignant moment, and just sort of slowly walks away. And that's where, again, like you said, is like probably the worst thing is like, you know, 6 days later they buried Ricky. 2 weeks later, Doughboy was murdered. Because
they disappear him from the scene. He's walking, and then he disappears.
It's the second homage to Stand By Me, where he just disappears. It's like...
And 2 weeks later, that character who you've watched through this whole film, who, like Ricky, was wanted to finally get out. Like, I can't be in this life anymore. Gets killed by the life.
Yeah.
Then the whole thing under the screen, like Trey leaves for Atlanta to go to college. Brandy accompanies him to go to a college nearby.
Yeah.
And I guess they just live their life.
They live together or whatever, yeah.
And then credits.
And that's where we get, like, the thing of, like, you know, it's like Boys in the Hood increase the peace. Yeah. Which is a nice sentiment.
So, again, powerful film.
Yeah.
Not just saying this because we're covering it because John Singleton passed away. We didn't big him up this whole episode because he passed away. This is all true, whether he was still alive or not. If we were doing this episode...
If we were doing this and he was still alive, we would have done the same thing.
The same thing. This is his best movie.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's saying something because it's his first movie. Not to lower his later films, even his much later films.
No. I mean, in the same vein, I would always say, like, you know, like, even, and I said it on the podcast when we did Kevin Smith, like, Clerks is still my favorite Kevin Smith movie. It's not to say that he didn't work on quote-unquote better films or make better movies. That's just the one that I think is his magnum opus, much in the same here with Singleton and Boys in the Hood. This was his magnum opus. This is it's kind of like working on, like, if you're a musician working on an album, you have your entire life to make your first album. You have 2 years to make your second. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's... Sometimes the first one's always going to be your best work.
Because he wanted to make a statement in this film, and I think he did. Obviously, we're still feeling it 20 years later.
Yeah, like...
Almost 20 years later.
Yeah, like, you know, every time you watch this movie, you have an emotional connection.
Oh, no, sorry, not even 20. They're almost 30 years later, sorry.
Yeah, 1991, dude, it's like... We're 2 years away from that. So,
almost 30 years later, we're still feeling it. Because life, well, it's gotten better. Yeah. It's a lot better than when it was when this movie came out. It's still not great.
It's still not great. No.
So you could still look at this film and like point to this is still going on.
Oh yeah, it still rings true today. Like it still rings as true as it ever did.
Not even arguably one of the best films of the 90s.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think you can say anything else. I can't imagine.
And if it wasn't for a massive movie like Silence of the Lambs coming out in the same year, this movie would have won probably best director, best picture.
It would have gotten everything. Yeah.
So to say it, 10 out of 10, I'm not going to put a little goofy tag on it because this is, it's a serious situation.
We know.
So it's a 10 out of 10. That's easy. Yeah. And that's not, and I know I've thrown away 10s on certain films that don't deserve 10s. This one legitimately deserves 10
like this is a fantastic film.
This is a classic. Yes. This is a movie. It's one of those movies where, like, if you were making a list of, like, movies you need to see before you die or whatever, this needs to be on that list because it's so fucking powerful. Even if this isn't your life. Because, again, you've said it, two white kids from Toronto.
We don't know shit, but...
We don't know shit about shit when it comes to this life, but it's still going to affect you.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm watching this movie, again, almost 30 years later, and I'm sitting there, like, jaw on the floor of how fucking powerful this is.
The parallels are still fucking there, man.
As far as MVP's concerned, it's hard.
Yeah, it's very hard. There's a lot of good performances in this movie.
Because between Furious and Trey, they act the shit out of their scenes. even Brandy and Ricky and
Doughboy.
Even, but Doughboy. I'm going to ultimately give it to Doughboy.
Yeah.
Mainly because he's not an actor.
No.
He is now. He's an actor and director now.
Yeah,
but in 1991, like he says, I'm a rapper. What do I know about acting?
Yeah.
And he has some of the most powerful scenes in the
film. He
does.
And he
like
is
the last
able...
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Him killing those guys in cold blood, and you seeing the emotion on his face. Him having that really super deep conversation with Trey, where it's not just like, forget the bitches, the hoes, and the gang, and the violence. He wants to throw all that away.
Yeah, like he's emoting in this movie in a way that is so natural that a lot of actors today couldn't pull that off.
That's something
on their
you
best
can't
day.
teach.
Yeah, that's just who it is. Like, he's a natural actor. I always say it's always kind of a shame that he does movies like fucking Are We There Yet and all that bullshit. Because I understand the paycheck, I get that, but I'm like, he's so good that he could actually do other things, but he doesn't seem to.
So I'm going to give that to him. I mean...
I'm going to give him the same. I was thinking the same thing anyway.
Because, again, I was very close to giving it to Lawrence Fishburne, Larry Fishburne for Furious, because every scene that guy's in... I'm again, as maybe ham-fisted and maybe sometimes forced as they are, there's still messages that you need to listen to.
Yeah, and the way he delivers them is amazing, because as we said in the beginning of, like, you could listen to this man read the damn phone book. Like, he's captivating in everything he says, so...
Because you take something like, don't be meta, sort of message, I get it.
Yeah.
But not...
But, I mean, at the same time...
It doesn't take away the powerful...
Yeah, but at the same time, like, when you look at Lawrence Fishburne's career later, going forward, like, the speeches he gives, even in The Matrix, are really fucking good because of him delivering it. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff he says is utter nonsense and bullshit, but it's captivating because he says it. So I would definitely go for him being the guy. But again, like, I have to give it to Ice Cube on this because he's not an actor and he's doing some of the most natural acting you would ever see. So
yeah, it's impressive. So again, to quickly not eulogize, that's not the word, but just remember, John Singleton. See this film, in honor of him, but to just see it.
Yeah, just to see it. Yeah, if you've never seen this
Poetic
movie,
Justice and Higher Learning, go see other films from him.
But I mean, if you've never seen this movie, do yourself a favor. It is amazing.
Because this man's work needs to be remembered.
It really does.
He needs to be remembered, and he won't be forgotten. Trust me.
No.
His death was felt in a lot of communities.
Yeah.
And it's sad that this film's going to be not rediscovered, because it's always been in the conscious of the public, but like people will go back and watch it because of his death and go, well, in honor of John Singleton, let's watch this movie again.
Yeah. And
I hope that there's people who maybe never seen it going, well, this Boyz.
I've never seen, but I've heard, like you've heard that the name John Singleton because he passed away recently, so hopefully you do watch it. If you've never seen it, seriously, like, just because we've ran it down doesn't mean it doesn't deserve to be seen. Yeah. We may have told you the ending, but who gives a shit? Yeah. Go watch this movie. It is incredible. You absolutely need to see it.
So with that being said, we do return back to our regular scheduled programming for the rest of May, and it will be Elm Street for the rest of this month.
Yep.
We're going to close out our Wes Craven stuff by doing the last 3 films in the Elm Street movies. Next week, we'll run number 5.
Yes.
Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child.
Yes, it does not have a 5 in it for some unknown reason.
April 11th, 1989. So again, check out for that. We'll get out of here.
Yep.
You were Steve.
You were Justin.
And we're way back and gone.
Rest in peace, sir.